So, my dear Virgo, this is your reading for the month of Aquarius, which means Sun in Aquarius is giving the light to the moon in your sign. And this is going to be the title of your reading, or this is rather going to influence your reading because the Sun is highlighting the moon, which is now again waning. We had a full moon in Leo, and you get in the next reading your full moon reading where you're going to have all 22 major arcanas. Here right now you have 13, and you recognize that you holding the star in your lantern, the age of Aquarius, is behind you, is giving you the light, and both of you face the left spinning cycle. I show you a picture so that you understand why am I doing right and left spinning readings. So this is the Earth spinning with this arrow 24 hours around its own axis, while it is actually spinning around the Sun in 365 days. Both of them are right spinning energies, which is from the outside to the within. Then we have this spin here to the left, which is a wobble the Earth does, and it's very slow. It's like 25,800 years long, this wobble. And that we divide as well through the 12 zodiac signs, which then you get an age. And so we are moving currently from the age of Pisces into the age of Aquarius. Hence, this is going to be quite a strong message, almost like what you're supposed to do for the future. What is it that you should look after? Because you can see both of them face the left spinning cycle, and the left spinning cycle is from the soul, deep within the information that you're getting to do what it is that you want to do. The yoga position for Aquarius, side plank, Santul Asana. And here I did a variation where we put one foot and one hand up, stretch up like a star. Meanwhile, one hand and one foot is on the earth or on the water. And the transformation happens here in the hexagram, where we can see the 7th star, and from the 7th star you become the 8th star here on earth. Then I gave you, of course, mountain pose with Namaste in front. And so you are in both directions, facing not only the past, but also the future. And of course, facing the right and the left spinning path. And in the center is the recognition of the cross, of the centeredness, of the heart space, of your universe, your work, your identity that you're working on. Then your court card is the Knight of Pentacles. If your birthday is between August 13 and September 11th, then this is your court card, and you can see you are a little split because Virgo's major arcana is facing the left spinning and the court card is facing the right spinning path. And this is your division, right? The money, the search for more money. Money is important to you. You also take care of it. You take care of the earth. You're quite someone that understands what's happening with the earth. And so, nevertheless, you a little split in the way you work with the spiritual and the material. Back to your last reading where Capricorn Sun gave the Virgo Moon its light. You're being the source and the muse and the inspiration for the new age. So already there came the star, the Aquarian star, and then this beautiful lady that's coming out of the water, both of them naked, and you almost like emerged out of that reading as this really incredible goddess, this muse, this very beautiful energy. So let's begin. Let's see what Aquarius Sun wants to tell you. And on the position of the Fool, the state of consciousness that is giving you the feeling something crazy, something foolish is speaking to you, and you act with the Knight of Wands into the human path. It's almost like the soul is giving you this feeling of go, do something, take adventure, take this enthusiastic moment and go forward and just allow to explore again this world, because you are the muse and you are the source and the inspiration of the new age. And now the new age is giving you the light through Aquarius for this reading. And on the 23rd of March, Pluto is going into Aquarius for at least 3 months. Then it's going to go back to Capricorn. But next year, 2024, Pluto is going for 20 years into the age of Aquarius. So there's going to be a huge shift, and you're already getting a little taste in the next 3 months. And so it's necessary that you're listening to this. It's really like saying go for it. And this is of course Sagittarius on the position of the Magician. Then you encounter a soul spirit, the hummingbird, the number 26, which then becomes an 8, which is above the Magician's head. And of course the 2 is the High Priestess, the dualities that we have to constantly recognize and bring into our center. And the 6, the self-love, a self-love that is so strong and so deep that then the soul can really speak to you and you get the message. And this is adventure as well, right? So there is really a human and a soul adventure lying on your path through the Aquarian age. It's almost like Aquarius is saying go for it. Now a new time, a new dawn is happening, and this is your time to act upon it. So then you have the 8, the infinite number of the Aquarian. Here it's a 1 and a 7, a prime number. Only the number 1 can be divided through the 17. There's no other number that can be divided through this number. And so then the 8 of the Aquarius, when we calculate the 1 and the 7 together, right, is literally the 8, this adventure that the soul still wants to live. And you gotta listen to it. Really important. Because on the position of the High Priestess comes the 5 of Pentacles. And that's Mercury in Taurus. And Mercury in Taurus speaks always about a test. I mean, the 5s are always tests. And you are tested in your intuition. You are tested in the way you act upon your intuition now. because you have the two in here, right? The dualities are always pulling, tugging and pulling on you. And you got to really work on yourself, because otherwise this test is going to be quite a loss of your financial situation. And you see here the roses are, the petals are falling, the horns of Taurus, and the wings of Mercury. And this is the Lord of material trouble. But you have that one coin which is in the center. And that one is that you should focus yourself on, because that's the only one that's really of interest, is the spiritual money, is the money that you gain because you're going your spiritual path or you're going your soul path. Very important, right? And that's where Mercury, which is your ruling planet, and of course for Aquarius, it's Uranus, the revolution. And there is a revolution coming at you. It's pulling, it's knocking, and it's saying, hey, Uranus wants you to wake up. And so Mercury is bringing you the information through Mercury in Taurus. And Taurus is the bull, is the financial security that we are hoarding money. But that money cannot be hoarded. It has to be in circulation, and it has to come from a soul place, otherwise it just disappears. On the position then of the Empress comes the wake-up call. The 20, the 2 and the 0. The 2, which is then connecting you back to this situation. And of course the 0, which is connecting you back to the soul, to that crazy thought that you had and you hopefully listened to, even though you have a difficult situation with money. You gotta go and do things differently, because if not, this is really a difficult transition, because this is a deep, deep wake-up call, and certain wake-up calls are sometimes painful. And here's that human being that's getting out of the grave and is liberated, but it's a child. It's the child that feels that it's able to shift its consciousness in such a way that it's like, okay, I am accepting what is happening right now. And so the state of consciousness of the Empress is giving birth to your new body, to your new you, because you listened, hopefully, to this calling of the hummingbird, which is within your third eye. And that third eye is saying, go for it. And it is speaking to the Sagittarius, the guardian angel within you. And here's a guardian angel that is now really calling you. Already here through Sagittarius, you got a call, and it's facing the right spinning cycle. And now the guardian angel is really coming. He's really calling you. It's almost like if you don't do anything right now, it's going to be tough. And then comes you. It's almost like now you get up and you're like, okay, all I need is one coin. All I need is this coin. I don't need the other coins. I let go. And so from here I go and explore the world, going on adventure, learning and growing and enjoying. Because then on the position of Virgo comes the 2 of Wands, which is Mars in Aries. And on your path then into the humanness of your soul path, you encounter this lady. and it's speaking to you about Two of Wands, and you have one wand in your hand, and now you get an extra wand. So you have two wands, and that's where you reflect back. It's almost like Spirit is talking to you one more time and wanting to let you know, are you sure that you have understood what has happened here? Are you sure that you understood what has happened here? And are you sure that you know that you got to go on adventure? Your soul needs that. You got to live now for your soul, not for the body or the mind. And so here, this is Salvador Dali. I'm going to read to you out of the book. And his cards are exquisite, right? Because, I mean, he's an artist that quite created a shift also in the way we perceive art. Primal forces. Two wands or two flames represent primal energies or basic instincts that are hard to handle. This conflict might pertain to short-term interests and intentions, such as having to accomplish two different things at the same time or wanting to do so. More fundamental conflicts may be at stake, such as loving two people at the same time or coordinating family and career. The message of this card is that a solution is always to hand. It is possible to overcome even the greatest of difficulties, turn emotional conflicts into practical tasks, and find the solution that fits the problem. This solution always has to do with an alchemical transformation of the coarse into the subtle. So the coarse, the physical body, into the spiritual, right? So here you are sitting on your heavy horse, you are looking at this picture, and she's literally saying become light. And then here you can see the peacock or the rooster, and here the snake. And she's literally saying, don't go any further unless you really have understood that now you have to go your soul path. Break up the seemingly insurmountable problem into smaller portions that are easier to deal with. This approach is much more useful than staring the snake in the eye, which is down here, and much better than false compromises. It is necessary to have a model and a vision of the chosen objective, like the miniature castle with swans depicted on the silver platter or mirror that the woman is carrying. It may be necessary to go through the fires of hell to achieve these goals. The bird on the right could be a cock, the symbol of alertness and of pride. With a little imagination, a phoenix can be identified, the bird of fire, the legendary bird that has to burn up periodically to be reborn from the ashes and regain its beauty. Rather than a martial rendering of this card, Dali emphasizes the aspect of beauty. All right, so I hope you understood what this card is really wanting to tell you. Then, on the position of the Wheel of Fortune comes this quiz of life. Jupiter is making things turn and twist so that you learn. And then comes here the number 9. And you go forward and see and recognize that you are holding now this rose in your right arm. And with your left, you're touching here this caterpillar that hasn't changed yet. But you have a caterpillar here in your right arm, in your right hand. And her hair has become like a leaf. And this is very beautiful because it's almost like you have understood the message that you are the rose. You don't need to look for roses. You are the rose. You are becoming the rose. You are becoming that which you searching for. And you are shifting into it. And then comes on the position of the Hanged Man here, the blue Chalcedon. And it comes with the number 11. And the Hanged Man is that moment, that state of consciousness where you are really realizing, now I got to change. If I don't change, if I don't accept that something here is really wanting me to shift, then something is going to happen, right? Because that's where the judgment comes in. That's where the wake-up call comes in of the last wake-up call. And so the blue chalcedonian crystal is literally telling you to go slower and to take it easy and to come back to your inner balance and your inner relaxedness. And it's really saying here that you should stop rushing everywhere. You should stop and take your time in whatever it is that you're doing. And it's funny because it's really literally saying you shouldn't run like a horse. So this new adventure is great, but of course you are never gonna be as fast or climbing as high as Sagittarius. You're taking it slow and easy, but you should take it a little faster than what you're doing here and a little slower than you do here. So you should come into your center. And so the blue chalcedony crystal is helping you to really arrive at yourself, arrive at this deep, deep change that you know is upon us, is literally saying, wake up and really listen to your soul. Listen to that which deep within you resides, because the crocodile is now as a soul energy, because it's facing the left spinning cycle. It's literally saying submerge, cool off, go deep within and recognize what it is that you want to let go. Mars that is falling apart, the crown, or that thinking of I am the best and I have a crown and I have figured out everything. No, things come and go. Everything has to shift. And so the pre-stage almost of the Hangman, it's saying here you are now asked to go slow, and here now you're asked to really submerge into the cool water. Go into water, heal through water, and recognize the power within all of it, because you are now this lovely flower and you want to go this path. You are with the 9 connected to this identity. You want to be this beautiful energy. And so you are. And then on the position of Aquarius, there's still going to be things that are difficult, because here you, even in submerging, you had to face a few things that you didn't know they were still deep within you, still residing. And so Aquarius is putting a light onto your moon, and so you can see this 9-9 portal as like an empowerment. Here she's holding the rose, and here the rose, that beauty that we are looking after all the time. We want to be so beautiful. We do terrible things to ourselves, right? In the aging process is almost like it's like so many women. I'm just watched the Grammys, and of course everybody was speaking about Madonna and how she like put herself in a position of like, well, you know, we older women, we have to go through such a difficult thing and blah blah blah. And she was literally like putting herself in the place of like, and what about all these women who haven't done any surgery? You decide to make that surgery. You decide to shift and change your face to the point where it's not recognizable anymore. I have nothing done to my face. I am letting my gray hair come out. I do not want to be cutting myself up. I love my lines and I love my teeth. They are starting to get more a little brownish from tea and whatever I'm eating. You know, it's part of life. Embracing that. And that's what I see here, is that we gotta wake up, that this beauty will fade. And the more we have gone through, we can still continue. We're still beautiful with a few scars. So what? That makes you even more richer, much richer than what this woman is portraying. And so the 9-9 portal is 2 times 9. Find the creativity to submerge like the crocodile and to just become a powerhouse and realize that you have the power and the strength to continue. And this is what Aquarius is giving to you, to continue the path of humanness. It's not an easy path. We know all of that. And so this is Saturn in Sagittarius. And so the path of the adventurer, we do get bruises, but those bruises are good. They are making out of us a person rich in experience. And those experiences I don't want to cover up. I don't want to have a surgeon like put them away. No, I show them and I continue. And on the position of the moon comes now the deep well. And we are emerging. We have the desire to come out of the deep subconscious through the moon, through the Pisces, which is on your position, right? You have the 2 of Wands that is telling you, okay, you gotta now recognize how you're gonna work. And you have 2 Wands and 9 Wands, which creates 11 Wands. And that is the 11 of the blue Chalcedonian crystal. The change, the shift. And she's looking at the well, and the well is empty. Time to replenish. The number 16, which then, in a way, the crocodile was on the position of the tower, the number 16. The crocodile is literally, when there's no water, crocodiles can really survive a dry season. So then you emerge out of that. And she's looking at that and she's like, oh, okay, so now I have these bruises, but I also have this empty well. So yes, I want to evolve out of it because there's no more water in the age of Aquarius. The age of Aquarius is leaving. And that's why the empty well is coming up for you. And she's looking at that and she's like, oh, wow, I really have to shift my perspective. And I have to evolve. And I have to move on. And I have to figure this out. And the soul will tell you what to do. Because here she's facing the left spinning cycle. And you leave because there's no more water. There's no more life. And then the sun, Aquarius, is saying, come into the age of Aquarius, evolve into the age of Aquarius, because here we have lots of life, the number 32, the 3, which is the Empress, right? And on the position of the Empress, we had the wake-up call. You got the wake-up call to come into the age of Aquarius, to shift your perspective, and the 2, you had the 5, so you have a 5-5 portal here. And the 2 is like waking up and recognizing now that things are changing. This is the message. Money is changing, and the way we handle money is changing, and you got to wake up and you got to go deep down into the water. And that's why the crocodile came, because the crocodile is in the water, and here comes this beautiful wildlife. And it's almost like the well of Pisces is dried up, and so that's what makes you evolve out. And then of course on the position of the sun, where Aquarius is literally saying, well, here we have a lot of new possibilities. There is water in this pond or in this ocean, right? And even though you've been hurt, even though it's gonna be difficult because you coming already hurt from the age of Pisces now into the age of Aquarius, you will make it, because here are new possibilities, emotional possibilities for you continue to grow. And that's why the hummingbird has brought you the message, right? Has given you, because there is a 2 in there as well. And so there is a 2-2 speaking to you about that's why the soul is pushing you into the right direction. So follow this intuition, follow that. Because then on the position of the last judgment, which came up on the position of the Empress, comes here this card. Then you can go about your life. You can go on a journey, because you listen to the wake-up call already here, as the Empress was calling you and saying, wake up. And here you're waking up, and the card is saying, explore. Voila. Trust your imagination to help you journey through your inner landscape to find what you seek. And this is it. The hummingbird has come and told you, go for it. Take this adventure. Do what it is you can do. You don't have to go as high as Sagittarius, right? Go in between. I know you don't go so high, but go for it. Do it. Because now this 8-8 portal is framing the 5-5 portal. And the money will come if you listen to your soul, if you follow your soul. It cannot be any otherwise. And so the 8 is also here in the Aquarius. The exploration of this new terrain, and you are holding it in your lantern, the star. Some say it's the sun, but the sun is a dwarf star. So you are holding the light of Aquarius in your lantern. So go for it. You're gonna be amazing in this new age, and you're gonna be going for it. And this is what's calling you, so that you can go this way. And even though here the soul is passing by with a boat, no, you going your way, you do your thing. Yes, thank you, soul, that you are here, and you're letting me know that you are watching me, right? And that you brought me this rich life through Aquarius. And then on the position of the world, the last card comes the 4 of Swords. And then you dive deeper into the meditation. This is now Jupiter in Libra. And Jupiter is on the position of the Wheel of Fortune here, the number 9 that came to you, and is helping you to meditate, is helping you to look deep within, because this is what you're doing as a hermit. You are researching about your identity. Who are you? Who are you becoming? Right? Who are you growing into? And you're doing this from deep within. And again, it's Jupiter as the planet of luck. And here comes the world, who is then profiting of your happiness. Because if you make yourself happy, the people around you are happy as well. It cannot be any other way around. And then the rose petals that fell down from here, from these roses, are now in your bathtub, and you can nourish yourself from it. And there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 rose petals. And that's the message. right? The message is that you have to find, through this deep look within, that the 10 rose petals here that you have carried here, and yes, sometimes even you've been hurt through this rose, through this openness, nevertheless, you move forward and you have the 10, and the 10 and the 20s are always like these moments where it's just like, oh, a 1 and a 0, and a 2 and a 0. I understand the infinite potential in the 0, right? And so you're learning, you're awakening to a bigger picture. And so then, of course, to close the reading, now you can really go out and go into adventure because you have understood something. And the 4 is the responsibility that you're taking. The responsibility that you're taking because you got the 2 of Wands, which is Mars in Aries. And Aries is the number 4, is that responsibility. You take that responsibility and you are now stepping out and you are listening to your soul. Because that's what Aquarius is doing to you, is pushing you out of your comfort zone and to evolve and to move on. So I hope I see you in the next reading, because then you get your full moon reading. You get all 22 major arcanas, and I read it from right to left. So it's going to be a soul path and not a human path. Until then, I thank you so much for being with me. Namaste.